I would like to introduce our first company. It is Arlington Water Utilities, and we have Craig Gantt with us today, who is the Assistant Director of Utilities and Operations. And a little information, City of Arlington is recognized for great tasting water and won the annual Best Tasting Surface Water State Award from the Texas Water Utilities Association for the third time. 2021 was a really big year for Arlington Water Utilities because they kicked off their largest ever treatment plant project. They have 216 full-time staff positions currently within the organization. So without further ado, Craig, if you wouldn't mind sharing what's going on with Arlington Water Utilities right now and any positions you guys are looking to hire for.
Good morning. Thank you. Thanks for all those accolades. Yes, we possess the best tasting water in all of Texas, so I don't have a problem, expounding on that. We've got 2 water treatment plants in which we treat 197 million gallons a day. And for our 374,000 or so residents, of that, we have 130,000 accounts. So I'm over the operations side, which is we're the people that you see all the time when you're going down the street and you're wondering, well, how did the water get treated and come to the plant? Making sure it comes from the plant to your house is what the area I'm over. I have 135 people that report to me, and of that 216, so we're the ones that are here all the time whenever anything is going on. So when you see a day where you have an ice day or a snowmageddon, we're the ones that are still going to be out there making sure that services still get to you. So if you're having to stay home during the pandemic, we're going to make sure that you get clean tasting water, great tasting water, and you're able to send waste away. So we're one of those vital elements, just like the police and the fire, that are going to make sure that you can be at home and be safe and be warm and toasty. So even when we even had a time here where we had a boiled water nose, was our first in 40 years, because basically during the snowmageddon of last year, we had 170 water breaks within the city. And so we were out there fixing them and still making sure that our clients and our customers are still able to drink water. So that being said, the industry that I'm talking about, the water utility industry and Arlington Water Utilities, we have a kind of an aging industry. So we're out there trying to get new people in. People are interested in coming to a different type, industry, different type occupation. We're going to be open every day. It's a 24/7 operation, and we're always here. So we're looking for those who, want to do something a little bit different. It's one that, you have water forever and it's always coming there and you're always going to need it. You can go without food for a couple of days. You cannot go without water. And one of the things that we do, I'm always amazed when we see a lot of people go out and they buy bottled water. Well, we're going to give you pay what, $2.19 for a bottle of water? Well, we give you 1,000 gallons for less than that. So I want to make sure everybody understands. And the tap water, the bottled water that you get bottled, is really tap water that someone went and added another filter to. So right now, as we see in the positions, I've got office positions, I've got field positions. I mean, even currently just in my sector, I have 18 field positions and I have 5 office positions. We've got intern positions, we've got engineering positions. It's doing everything that you see that a lot of people take for granted. I was in the military. Before I came here, I've been doing this for 24 years. I've done every job that we've had. I've been a support manager. I've been a water treatment manager. And now I'm the assistant director for operations here. I've been a field operations manager. So I've had a kind of role in almost everything that we've done. I've been over our business sector also. So we have 3 divisions. We have an operations division, which is made up of our meter services and our customer service, the people you come and pay your bill to, and the people that actually gauge how much water is coming into your house. That's kind of part of that I do. Of course, we have our treatment division, which you get water. Right now, one of our sources of water is Lake Arlington. We take that raw water, we refine it, we sanitize it, We treat it, make sure it's safe, and we make sure it's tasty, and then we bring it to your house. I was one of those people when I first came to the water industry, coming from the military. I thought nothing of just turning that spigot and turning the faucet and it coming in there and go, oh. And as I started working, I'm like, well, wait a second. There are times when you turn it on and it may not be there. So part of our job is to make sure that you have plenty of water, even during a drought, and finding those resources, finding those sources, and looking to the future and how we keep all the people that are going to be coming to North Texas still, with all the available water that they'll need and the sewage to be able to move away from there. So I can start with my biggest ones are we have lead utility technicians, high school diploma or GED, and we get you started. We will ensure that we license everyone. The state of Texas requires that if you have anything to do with process flow of the water coming from the treatment process to your house, that we have to have them being licensed by the state of Texas. And one of the things that we do is we ensure that we bring people in with my utility techs. You're going to get a CDL, which is just probably the best license to have these days for your time here and when you decide to leave. And that there's so much that trucking 80,000 trucker shortage. So we're going to give you that training, and it's going to be part of your training here, and we're going to get you licensed. And the one great thing I can say about that is portability. If you don't stay in Arlington, you can go anywhere in the state of Texas with that license and be a prime, candidate for employment, because other utilities don't have to train you. So we're going to make sure in your first year, we're going to give you all the training required to give you that C operator's license. We're going to do everything to ensure that you have a wastewater license, and not just in the state of Texas. Once you're licensed, you can go anywhere in the United States, and they will have what we call portability of the license. And only place is kind of hard is California. You might have to take another test there, but the majority of the time you don't have to. You don't have to do the training again. So we're going to make sure that you're coming in, you're getting trained, and that you're going to learn a new occupation and get in a new industry. Like I said, our industry is aging. We have a lot of people that are starting to retire. Myself being here 24 years, I'm kind of close to that time frame, and we want to make sure that we have those people that are trained and sufficient to go not just here, but smaller utilities. The one thing I can say is that smaller utilities in probably in West Texas, sometimes they only have 2 or 3 employees. So it's very important that we bring people into our industry and that we make those opportunities available. I have 18 positions open right now in our field operations division. We have another 10 in our treatment division, where you're going to learn the science of how to treat water and chemicals. And we use a unique system. We use ozone. A lot of people just know they use chlorine, but we use ozone, and we use other type technology to clean our water. We're looking at others using UV systems to do that, ultraviolet light, in order to not have use as many chemicals, to try to give you the best tasting, and not just the cleaner water, the best tasting water also. So given that, we have engineering positions that are available. We have civil engineering positions and environmental engineering positions. I have at least 2 of each of those, and where you go in and, if you like plans, you like designing systems, that's the kind of job we have for you. We also have our whole system, and not a lot of cities do, but our whole system is mapped out. We use a geographical information systems to know where our lines are. And so we have positions there for technicians to learn that type of trade and to come and actually, start doing that. And you get a chance to see. One great thing for me being in operations, that I can pull up a map and it'll tell me where all our water lines are and where all our services are. So as we're out digging, I don't know how many people know about the 811 call before you dig system. A lot of times we can provide a map, and our guys have that computer. So they're getting computer training. They're actually, they're working with the best equipment out there, and I've got the best trainers and best leaders. So if you want to come to a position and come to a type of occupation where you're going to get great training. We're going to make sure that you have the best leaders to develop you. And it's a long-term, investment in a occupation. 20 years, you can retire from the city and you can still move on. And it's like, you can go do something else. So you come here 20 years, you take everything that we taught you and you can take it to another industry. So I don't want to jump into all the positions unless people have questions, because I can keep going all day. And I know we have other speakers, but just to give you an idea, that's what we do.
Yeah, actually, Craig, there's a couple of questions in the chat, some of whom you've answered with regard to wastewater. And we had a candidate is asking also, are there any office positions, or is there any likelihood for any remote opportunities for those office positions?
Well, I have 4 intern positions right now, and we have at least 1 office assistant position in Arlington Water Utilities. Speaking to the city of Arlington, I know that we even have abundance of office positions still available in not just in water, but in our public works and our facility service positions. The city, we have what we call alternative scheduling, where there are some departments, our department is one where there's remote work from like 3 days a week or 2 days a week, depending on what department or what section you're in. And then they come in for 2 days. We've adopted one of a 4 10-hour day schedule where we're giving our guys an extra day off, and that just with me scheduling, I have half my crews working Monday through Thursday and half working Tuesday through Friday. So we're doing different things to kind of acknowledge that the workforce is changing and the needs are changing. So we do have some remote opportunities. We don't have any full 100% remote opportunities, but as I said, we have some where you'll spend 2 days in the office, 3 days at home, or other. So that depends on if you're in engineering. On our customer service one is a little bit different because people have to come in and make payments. So, but they're still doing the same thing of 3 days on, 2 days off, and they're just scheduling people a little different.
Craig, if you can share, where can candidates go to apply for the positions? And what would the interview process look like after they apply?
Well, you go to arlingtontx.gov, you go to our City of Arlington website, and it'll say jobs, and you'll have an opportunity to apply. Once you do that, usually on a weekly basis, depending on how long we keep a position open, a lot of them are open until filled now. So on a weekly basis, we're sent all the applications for a position. I go, we go through and we kind of rate each one to see, maybe our top 3 or top 10, depending on how many positions we have open. It's funny because I've got guys walking in now. I've got 8 people out interviewing outside in the office, outside my office, and those are for field technician positions. And so they come in usually on a weekly basis. We kind of rotate that in. Once they've gone through and we've talked to them and we made an offer, we told them, we talked about the pay, we talked about the benefits. We send them through a background check, which usually takes, if you live in the state of Texas and have not left for the last 7 years, it usually takes about 2 to 3 days. If you've been out of the state in the last 7 years, it usually takes about a week to do the background check. We bring you in, and we have an orientation, usually every other Monday. And for us, that's something where it used to be in person, but right now you come to our location and our human resources department in our classroom takes you through it on remotely and through Zoom or through Microsoft Teams. And with us, your first week is we take you around the entire utility. We want you to see, here's what we do, but here's what everyone does. And you get an opportunity to meet the whole entire management team. You have lunch with our director, and literally that's every position. Gets a chance to talk to the boss who kind of tells you, here's the direction of the utility, here's what we're trying to do. And you talked about one of our projects, and we're taking one of our older plants, our Pierce Burst water treatment plant that was built in 1957, and we've invested $112 million to upgrade that and to make sure that we have sufficient water for the future for everyone, for even if our city grows to 1 million, we've got enough, capability to do that. So after that, 2 weeks, we're done. So with me, it's quick, really quick now. It's about 3 weeks from the time you come in, you fill out the application, we talk to you, you're in, you're probably working within 3 weeks from the time you've actually filled in the application.
That's great. And Craig, you mentioned you've been with the organization for 24 years. Can you share with us what growth opportunities people can see within your organization?
Yes. The great thing about, being here is that, and I can just talk to my leadership team here. I've been here 24 years. My 3 managers have all been here at least 22, and they've all started, it's funny, they've all started as either a warehouse person or a technician or someone who was in our GIS area. So for the most part, and I can really say I'd say 80% of our positions, if I'm sitting here thinking, we were actually talking about this in our leadership team meeting the other day, is that 80% of the positions started at the lowest level of the organization, have come up and learned everything. Now, that doesn't say that if you've got experience somewhere else in a different city that we can't bring you in, because I've had one of my top managers worked here for 25 years. He started at 18. He went to the city of Bedford for 5 years. And then when I got this position, I convinced him to come back. So we do that a lot in the water utility industry. We kind of, it's a small fraternity sorority. We kind of know each other. Even if you go to other parts of the state and with American Water Works Association and different organizations, it's a big thing. We're a big school, where we all know each other and we, talk to each other. We switch ideas and we kind of group think a lot of things. So once you're in for life, and you probably won't go, might go to another organization, but the industry, there's so many opportunities that it's very few times that someone actually leaves the industry. Even when they retire, sometimes they become consultants and they talk to other utilities. So some of the bigger engineering firms that we go and they become consultants with, and they talk about operations. So plenty of opportunities. And once you're in, because the learning and all the training is so kind of specific, that you usually are staying and growing throughout this organization.
That's huge. It sounds like there's many different avenues, and even after retirement, to continue on. And you just answered someone's question. Someone asked if there is training, and it sounds like there is a training period. And along with that, there's also a question on qualifications for applying, and that might be different for each position. So it might be a tricky one.
Well, the entry-level positions are meter readers, are apprentice service workers, utility techs. If you're in the field, I want to talk about my training program. It's very robust. During the pandemic, other cities kind of shut their training programs down. And if you know anyone in the city of Dallas or Fort Worth, they'll tell you that the city of Arlington's training program remained. We had everything going with our TCEQ, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality required training. We kept that going to the point of we doubled the number of training hours during the pandemic, where at some points we were the only city actually providing training that wasn't remote. We actually had people able to come in and provide the training, give them hands-on experience. You will definitely get everything that you need, and we do it on a scheduled basis. So one of the things I talk about the D license, which is our entry-level license. You get that after taking one course, but the C operator's license, it usually takes 2 years of experience. With additional training, you can get it in one. I have an experienced training team here that has put that together. When you walk in the door for us, we actually schedule you for your all the required training you're gonna need for the first 2 years right away. We hand you the schedule. So once you do your application, my training administrators actually plugging you in for different dates. The only person that can pull you out of that would be the assistant director. And so you actually know when you're going to be able to take those license tests. We have reviews and we have all types of things that make you successful.
There is a question from the panelist, Craig, asking, is WEAT one of your affiliations? I'm going to assume you know what that acronym means.
Can you repeat that again, Stefan?
Sure. There was a question asking, is WEAT one of your affiliations? I'm going to assume you know what that acronym means.
Yes, WEAT is one of ours, and we have plenty of people that have memberships, especially in the wastewater area. So yes, that's actually, we provide those memberships. You know, the city provides those for you, and we ensure that you get all the information and you utilize that tool and that organization for further learning.
Looks like a final question. Are there any AP positions?
AP positions.
Whoever sent that question, if you would like to clarify what position that is, and if we don't get to it today, please send your question to info@workforcesolutions.net and we will get back to you. Wow, thank you, Craig. That is huge. Accounts payable, that's the position, accounts payable.
And we have a couple accounts payable positions in the water utility, but the city of Arlington, I'm pretty sure, I think they have about 8 to 10 accounts payable type positions. And the great thing about the city, with the city of Arlington, if you go to our website, I say arlingtontx.gov, is that you will see that we have people that are being promoted. And so other positions are opening up, entry-level positions. So I know that our controller, our housing division is expanding through some, government grants, and they have a grant. I know it's a grants account analyst position. And so there are a couple in there that you will definitely find with the city of Arlington.
Thank you so much, Craig. That was a wealth of information. We really appreciate you coming on. For people who joined late, I want to remind everyone that Craig is with Arlington Water Utilities. And if you scroll up in the chat box, the link for applying within his organization is included. And the recording of this webinar will be on our YouTube channel. And we will include that YouTube link in the chat box as well. Thank you so much, Craig. That was very insightful and helpful. Next, I would like to introduce Kimberly Dean, who is a talent acquisition specialist with Mauser Electronics. With more than 5 million products online, Mauser Electronics is a global authorized distributor of semiconductors and electronic components for over 1,200 industry-leading manufacturer brands. They specialize in the rapid introduction of the newest products and technologies, targeting the design, engineer, and buyer communities. So welcome, Kimberly. Thank you for joining. If you wouldn't mind sharing with us information about Mauser Electronics and positions you guys are looking for.
Yes, good morning. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm very excited to talk about Mauser Electronics and what we have available here. As you know, we are a global distributor of electronic components and semiconductors, as Laura had mentioned. We are headquartered right here in Mansfield, Texas, just south of Arlington. And we have a number of different positions available. Currently at our global headquarters in Mansfield, we probably have about a little over 2,000 employees at our facility. Out of that, I'd say probably almost half is in our warehouse operations. And so where we have our greatest need right now as far as hiring is in our warehouse operations as well as in customer service. And I would like to share with you some of the opportunities that we have currently. We probably have over 100, probably almost close to 200 positions between the warehouse and as well as in customer service. So for our warehouse, they're called stock control associates, and in various areas: order pulling, overnight stocking, material handling, shipping, consolidation, and receiving are some of the roles that we have available. Various shifts for order pulling currently right now. And you can also look at our website, and I can put that information in the chat as well as my email, and my partner, Renisha Stewart, her email as well. But for order pulling, We have a shift, which would be a Tuesday through Friday, 11:30 to 8:30. And also on Mondays, it's 9:30 a.m. to 8:30. So on Mondays, we work a 10-hour shift. And then Tuesday through Friday would be a regular 8-hour shift. The pay rate for that position would be $16.50. We have overnight stocking, 2 different shifts for overnight stocking. One is a Sunday through Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. And then also Monday through Thursday from 8 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. Our overnight shifts pay $17 an hour. We have material handlers, which is an early shift. This one would be Mondays, 3 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then Tuesday through Friday from 3 a.m. to 12 noon for those of you that are early birds. We have that position. That one pays $15.50 an hour. We have our consolidation position. This is a midday shift, Monday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and then Tuesday through Friday from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. That would pay $16.50 for that shift. Have another early bird shift, which is our shipping. I have 2 shipping positions. One's early, one's late. For the early shift, we have Mondays, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. That pays $15.50. Our late shift, Monday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesday through Friday would be 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. That pays $16.50 an hour. And then receiving, Mondays, 10:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and then Tuesday through Friday from 12:30 to 9:30 p.m. and that pays $16.50 per hour. In addition to that, as I mentioned, we also have various roles in our customer service. Now there's just one set schedule for our customer service team, which is Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and the pay rates can vary between $15 to $17 an hour on those positions. As far as our process is concerned, it's pretty quick. I'd say maybe about a 2-week turnaround time from the time you complete the application. So once you complete an application in our system, we will give you a call, conduct a phone screen. Once that phone screen has been completed, you're taking an assessment on warehouse comprehension. Once that assessment is completed, it's all done online, that portion. Once that assessment's been completed, we'll give you a call to schedule you to come into our facility for an interview. Typically, when we have the interview, we get feedback depending on what time of day it is. We can have feedback the same day or possibly the next day. And if you are selected after that point, we immediately start the pre-hire process. Also, I wanted to mention, we do have an upcoming event that is taking place. If you are interested in jobs at Mauser, we are going to be doing hiring on the spot with our drive-through job fair. This is going to take place on Saturday, April the 2nd, and it's going to be from 8 a.m. to 12 noon at our facility here at Mauser. It's located at 1000 North Main Street in Mansfield. We are, I'd say, maybe about 30 miles from Dallas and maybe about 20 miles from Fort Worth. The items that you would need to have with you is a photo ID. We do ask that you please bring a face mask with you, and then you can complete your application online. What we would prefer is that you complete the application online prior to the event, so it'll be a smooth, seamless process. And again, this is going to be a drive-through job fair, so you would just stay in your car, and then we will be there to take you through the interview and the pre-hire process.
That's great. I've never heard of a drive-through job fair, so I'm gonna have to follow up with you and hear how it goes. That's great.
We're very excited about it. We're kind of, we look at different models, with one thing, we have our iPads, almost kind of like Chick-fil-A when you go through the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Great, Kimberly.
Yes.
And then I wanted to ask Kimberly, can you tell us about benefits that come with applying and working with Mauser Electronics for the different positions?
So with Mauser, we do have a number of benefits. Bear with me for just a second here, and I can kind of tell you. We have, of course, our medical plan. So after your first 30 days, then you are eligible for full benefits. Of course, we have, health, dental, we have health savings account, vision, In addition to that, we also have an employee assistance plan as well that's available to employees on 24/7 basis. And of course, insurance for life, accidental death, and dismemberment. Now, in addition to that, other benefits or perks that I'd like to talk about is that we have a fitness center on site, which is great. It's available to all employees. We have an M-Life clinic that you can come in. So it's the convenience of having the clinic right there. So if you have like an allergy issue, as we all kind of do right now because the weather's been so crazy, you can go right there and get treated, get the treatment that you may need. And then we also have a restaurant on site as well. So.
Okay, Kimberly, there's a couple of questions.
Yes.
One wants to know, do you have any transportation opportunities available, either locally or nationwide? And secondly, do you have any marketing opportunities?
Transportation, are you speaking like as driver positions?
Correct. Presumably, the moving of objects, yes.
Logistics.
Transportation, driving, yes.
At this time, I don't believe we do have any logistics positions. As far as marketing, we may possibly have that. I actually support our warehouse operations, but I can, as I mentioned, I don't know if it's already been in the chat, but I can include my information here in the chat so that, you know, if they have any other questions regarding that, we can take a look at that.
Okay. Another question was asked, how will production be measured?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. We have a system, I guess, for that. And again, that's one of those questions that maybe we could talk offline on.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to include, perfect. Kimberly just included her information. So if you'd like to send her an email, that might be a more specific one-on-one question and answer.
Okay.
And then Kimberly, I wanted to ask about career progression. What does that look like within your organization for candidates and employees?
So Mauser is growing, and with growth, of course, comes opportunity. We do like to promote from within. I know, as I mentioned, I work in supporting the warehouse operations team, and I can tell you almost on a weekly basis, we're having some movement in the warehouse where employees have been working with us for a while, and there's other opportunities that came open for them, so that it creates more opportunities. So we do like to promote from within.
I have a question for you, Kimberly. Why do you enjoy working at Mauser?
I do like the, I guess, the camaraderie with working here here at Mauser. I've been here actually a short time, actually myself. I've been here since August of last year. However, I find it very rewarding with working here in talent acquisition and working in human resources because I enjoy working with people. Now, in addition to that, getting to know new employees, taking them through that process, explaining our process to them, helping them be prepared for their interviews. And, you know, I just find that whole process to be very rewarding. And I believe that the culture here at the company is also something to take note of. It is a very open culture. There's no big I's, little U's. Everyone kind of rolls up their sleeves and works together to, you know, get tasks accomplished. So it's a great organization.
Yeah, that's huge for the dynamics of an organization when everyone participates. Fantastic. If there are any other questions for Kimberly, sorry, I keep stumbling. Please include them in the chat box and we will either get back to you via email or on this webinar. And if your question, as a reminder, is not answered during this webinar, feel free to send an email to info@workforcesolutions.net and I will include that in the chat box. Anything else you'd like to add, Kimberly?
No, I can't think of anything else. As I mentioned, I think that we do have our information here. please take some time and check out our opportunities that we have on our website. I talked about warehouse and customer service, but there's lots of other opportunities as well that you could possibly take a look at. And if you have any other questions, as I mentioned, feel free to send me an email.
Perfect. And Kimberly did send in her email address as well as the website, and I copied and pasted it. So feel free to reach out to her through that information. Thank you so much for coming, Kimberly. As a reminder,
Absolutely.
Kimberly is with Mauser Electronics.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Now I would like to introduce Delicia Mcgee, who is the office administrator with SafeSecure 360 LLC. Their team of state license and insured specialists works with companies in matters relating to internal and external theft, workplace violence, confidential investigations, uniformed and plain security, VIP protection, and security policy development. With that being said, if you wouldn't mind sharing information on what's going on with your organization right now and sharing any open positions you guys have. And if you can find Delicia, she has her information, phone number and website.
Hopefully they can see it. I'll also post it in the chat as well. As you mentioned, my name is Delicia. I work for SafeSecure 360. We specialize in protective services such as crisis and security counseling, active shooter and handgun training, private and public event security. We provide uniform security for, like I said, private and public events. We secure retail centers, construction sites, hotels, grocery stores, restaurants. If they need security, any type of thing you think of, we'll provide it. Our current open positions right now are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that we're looking to fill. We have a few grocery stores that we're looking to get coverage for. They're located in, we have full-time positions in Arlington, Mesquite, and Garland right now that we're looking to fill. We also have part-time positions available in downtown Dallas, Plano, and Addison, and Duncanville. Right now, we have first and second shifts available. If you're interested in applying, our company site is www.ss360.biz, or you can also apply through the Work in Texas website. Our job ID on there is 151-251-47. Within this company, there are opportunities for growth. Most of our officers come in at the level 2 unarmed position. You can be promoted to supervisor as well as site supervisor. And then from there, you can branch off because we offer different types of security. So we also do like private investigations and things such as that. So if you were interested in obtaining those type of certifications, then you would be able to branch off from there. Some of the benefits of being employed here: we do offer the healthcare, vision, and dental after 60 days. Also, and this is the first company I've ever worked for that does this, but if you want to have healthcare just for yourself, they do cover your premium with the basic plan. So it'll be at no cost coming out of your check. You'll still be able to have some form of healthcare. If you also, I'll say another benefit, I tell people all the time that the security field is pretty much COVID proof, because no matter what's going on in the world, people are still going to want their assets and buildings and everything secured. So it's the place where you can really have longevity as far as having a job. If you are not currently licensed, the state of Texas does require you to have your level 2 security license. However, if you don't have it and you're interested in getting started in the security field, our company does also offer the training. So you'll be able to obtain your level 2 security license, and then we'll be able to place you on a site just based off of our current openings. And so that's pretty much all I have. I'll post my information in the chat. so that everyone will have
Perfect.
that. Okay.
Thank you. And then can you share with us what the application and onboarding process looks like to work with your organization?
So normally the process is we'll receive your application. From there we'll call you and we'll do a phone screen. If you already have your level 2 security license and you pass the phone screen, then we'll get you in for an interview. And from there, it'll just be based off of what openings we have. And normally, probably within a week or two, you'll be able to start working actually on your site. We provide you, your supervisors will train you as far as everything that you'll be doing. So that'll be for about a week, and then you'll be able to start working on your own. If you're not certified yet, the process will be, once we talk to you, then we'll get you scheduled to sign up for one of our training classes. After you receive that certification from the state of Texas, then we'll be able to place you at one of our sites. So they may take anywhere, I'll say about 3 weeks at the most, maybe 4, depending on how long it takes for the state of Texas to get your information back.
And I may have missed this if you already answered it. Sorry, I was going through the chat box, but someone asked if your organization pays for training or if training in-house.
The training is in-house. The cost for the training is $30. So that'll be what you pay.
Okay, great. And then another question came in, are COVID vaccines required for the organization?
No, they're not.
Okay.
They're not required.
Okay, and that might be a helpful one from Craig and Kimberly if you want to answer that question as well. And the question was if COVID vaccines are required.
No, they're not required for the city of Arlington.
Okay.
And they're not required here as well.
Okay, great. And then Delicia, someone asked, what's the qualifications for training?
You just have to be at least 18, or they're referring to, if you're referring to just obtaining your license, you'll have to at least be 18 years old.
And another question on training is the length of training. And then a second question, what type of sites do you all protect? And I think you touched on that a little bit earlier, but maybe.
Yeah, so your training it's going to take about, normally we try to do it over the weekend, so it'll be about 2 days. Then you'll take your exam for the state. And once you pass that, we send that information off to the state of Texas. And then it's just the process of waiting for them to approve it after you pass your exam. The type of sites that we cover, we have retail centers, construction sites, hotels, restaurants. Right now, the ones that we're actually looking to fill are, we also service grocery stores. So it's a fairly simple post. It's just like whenever you walk into a grocery store, you have the security officer standing there. That'll be the type of job right now that we're looking to fill.
And it looks like a couple questions on background are coming in for Safeguard. Does a background stop a candidate from working in security with your organization?
No, it does not. Our rule is pretty much if the state of Texas issues a license to you, then we're able to move forward with you. We do conduct background checks, but if you have your license and they've approved you, then we are willing to work with you.
I think that question was addressed to Craig as well regarding the background.
We kind of have the same thing. If you can, if the state of Texas certifies you, we do a simple background check. We do a driving check if you have to drive, but pretty much nothing kind of disqualifies you. We kind of take everything into consideration. I think I even had a question about arrests or felonies or anything, and it depends on what it was and what happened. I don't know totally 100% because some of it goes through our human resources. If I actually get it and I have not gotten something because of a background check, usually they give it to the department. So it's pretty basic.
Thank you. And Delicia, someone asked, Is there a background check similar to going through a police recruitment?
No, so we don't, I know like the police, sometimes they may have you do like lie detector tests and all of that type of stuff. We don't do that. So it is just a simple background check where we're pulling your information and everything. It's nothing too, I guess, gruesome that you'll have to go through.
Okay. And it looks like that question also came through for City of Arlington. If there is a background check similar to going through a police recruit.
Not even close. And the reason I say that is to be on a committee with another city, I had to fill out a 58-page background check. And no, it's nothing that pretty much is a driving check. It's a quick, it's, like I said, it's done in 2 days, so it can't be that extensive. And if you want that particular question, send it to me and I'll actually have my human resource personnel kind of reach out to you all and tell you what it actually entails, but it's nothing like a police background check unless you're going to be a police officer.
And somebody wants to know if there are any sites in Crowley. Does anybody have any opportunities in Crowley?
We have an opportunity. It's not in Crowley, but we have one in Arlington. It's off of Randall Mill, kind of close by the Cowboys Stadium. So that's not too far of a drive, depending on if you're willing to go out that far, but it's not too bad of a drive.
And I saw, Delicia, can you share what the starting wage looks like?
Our starting rate for our level 2 right now is $14 an hour. It doesn't vary by site. I did see, I think somebody said that. It doesn't vary by site, and our pay rate increase is just based off of, like I said, there are opportunities for growth. So if you get promoted to a supervisor or site supervisor, then it increases but it starts out at 14.
Thank you. We've sent in Craig, Kimberly, and Delicia's information multiple times. So if you guys aren't seeing it, please send an email to info@workforcesolutions.net. I just included that in the chat box. Please send an email there and we can share their information that way. I'm not sure why it's not able to be seen, but thank you so much, Delicia. Again, Delicia works with SafeSecure 360 LLC. And if anyone has any further questions, please send them in the chat box. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Delicia, or does that cover everything?
That was everything. Thank you.
Thanks for attending. If you guys have any questions, again, send it to info@workforcesolutions.net. Thank you so much for attending, Craig, Kimberly, and Delicia. We really appreciate having y'all here.